Hello everyone, you're welcome back again to my YouTube channel. It's Emma Styles here again, and in today's video I'm going to be showing you guys how to go about the cutting and sewing of this beautiful basket crop top with elastic around the sleeve. I made this for my birthday, which is coming up tomorrow, so if this is something you're interested in, definitely keep on watching. And if you're still yet to subscribe to the channel, hit on the subscribe button and turn on the notification bell so that anytime I upload new video, you'll be the very first person to see it. To make this crop top, you need 3 yards of fabrics, and that is exactly what I have here. Though after I was done making my top, it remained just a tiny piece of fabrics. So if you have a bigger size, anything less might not be enough. You need to also get a pattern paper, which is what I have here. I have my brown paper here. You have to get 2 of it, one for the sleeve and one for the body. You need to get this brown paper for your basket top instead of that white pattern paper, because this brown paper is stronger than the white paper. The white paper might just tear easily. This is only going to be enough for a crop top. So if you're making a longer one, you might need to get a lot of brown paper and join them together. So for this one that I have here, I'm folding the brown paper into 4. So I'm going to go ahead and draw out my basic crop top on this pattern paper here. So as it is folded into 4, it means that I'm cutting out the front and the back pattern together. So from the center here, I went in by 3 inches and then came down by 1.5 inch for the neckline for the back pattern. So I'm just going to draw the neckline like this. So now from the center again, I'm going to go in by half of my shoulder measurement, and half of my shoulder measurement is actually 7 inches. But because this is going to be a free kimono, I will add extra 1 inch, which makes it to be 8 inches. So when you get half of your shoulder measurement, add 1 inch to it. So once you've done that, come down by 1 inch from that point and then connect it into the neckline, and that will form the shoulder slope. So now I'm going to come down by 8 inches for my armhole depth. Normally my armhole depth is 7 inches, so I had extra 1 inch. So once you have done that, draw a straight line like this and connect it using a curve. You don't need to do any division and all of that for this particular one. Just connect a nice armhole as you can see here. So now from the top, I'm going to come down by 16 inches, which is the length I want this crop top to be. So now I'll draw a straight line across as you see me do. So once you're through with that, you're going to mark out your bust measurement. Now my bust measurement divided by 4 is 8.5, but I'm going to be using 11 inches. I added extra 2.5 inches. So basically I will cut this like a kimono. That is why I'm making it a bit bigger than my normal body measurements. So guys, as you can see, the 11 inches that I marked out on the armhole, I've also gone ahead to mark it out on the bottom of this brown paper. Then I'll go ahead right now to join the 2 points together as you see me do in this video. Now from the top here, I'll come down by 3 inches and connect it back to the neckline, and this is going to be the neckline for the front. Remember I said I'm cutting the front and the back together on this pattern paper because I folded it into 4. So now I'm cutting the neckline for the back together on both the front and the back, and then I'm going to go ahead and trim off the armhole and the rest of the body. So guys, once you are through with this, go ahead and separate the papers. So this one will be the back. Now I can cut out the round neckline for the front and use this particular pattern as the front pattern. So after doing that, I'm just going to go ahead and cut the center front into 2 with about ½ inch. So now you're going to have an opening on the front piece. So these are the front pieces and this is the back piece. So the opening is going to be at the front. So now once you're through cutting out the body part, the next thing is to cut out the sleeves. So to cut out the sleeves, you need to measure the armhole of any of your pieces. So here I'm just using this one to measure, and what I have is 9/4 inches. That is what I'm going to be using for the armhole of the sleeve. To cut out the sleeves, you have to fold your pattern paper into 4 as well. If the pattern paper you have is not long enough to give you your desired length, you can join the pattern paper. And note that every area you're going to be sewing, you must cut out the pattern paper for it. So guys, right now I'm going to go ahead and draw a straight line that will serve as our starting line. So from this side, I'm just going to come down by 3 inches for my armhole. So I will just create a curve using my free hand. So once I'm done creating the armhole curve, I'm just going to measure to make sure I have 9/4 inches. The next thing I'm going to do now is to measure the length that I want for my sleeve. So once I got that, I'm going to go ahead to draw a straight line across the side line. So now I'm going to go ahead and connect it to the side like this, and that is basically it for the cutting of my sleeve. And so guys, everything you're going to be doing on this top, you must cut out a pattern for it. I hope you understand. If you are making a maxi basket top, it means that you have to join your pattern paper until it is long enough for the length you want your maxi kimono to be. So with this, I'm done cutting out all the patterns that I'm going to be making use of for this top. I have my 2 sleeves here and the body parts that we've drafted earlier. So now I'm going to go ahead and show you how to create the lines where you'll be stitching on for this basket top. I will be demonstrating with the back pattern. When I'm done with the back pattern, you can go ahead and do the same thing for all the other patterns. So on the back pattern here, I went ahead to draw a straight line across the center, and then I'm going to be drawing other lines across. So I'm thinking of using 2 inches, and I am measuring to know if I do 2 inches, if it's going to be enough. So after I was done, I realized that 1.5 inches will be okay. So I'm marking 1.5 inches from each point. You can do 2 inches if you want. So once I'm through with that, I'm going to go ahead and extend the points I marked out all the way to the top. I'm going to do the same thing for the other side as well after marking out these sides. So guys, after marking out this first line, you're going to draw another line across. So now for this one, you pick a line that's go up across the shoulder, and I'm going to go ahead and start marking 1.5 inches on this particular line. So guys, make sure you picked a line that goes from the bottom all the way to the shoulder. So once you're through marking the points, go ahead and use it to draw a straight line across horizontally like this. So when you're done, you will have several boxes like this. So you're going to do the exact same thing for your fronts and your sleeve patterns as well. So after I was done with everything, this is what I had. You must do the exact same thing for all the patterns. So now guys, I have my fabrics here and I will fold it into 4 so that I can cut it out. It is not compulsory to fold it into 4, but folding it this way will make it a bit easier to cut. So I'm going to be using 2 inches to cut this out. As you can see, it's going to be long straps. You can do 1.5 inches, but I think 2 inches is okay. I'm going to cut out a lot of these pieces. So guys, by the time you open it up, you will see it's very long. I'm still going to cut more of this. I just cut this ones out to show you how I'll be placing it on the pattern paper. So now you're going to pick one of the straps, and then you're going to go ahead and fold it into 2 from the side like this, and then I'll fold it again like a bias. So I'm going to be placing it on each line, and I will sew across as well. So I'm going to fold the first one in like this, and I'm going to place it on one of the lines, and I'll go ahead and start sewing. In case you don't know, this is very time consuming. If you're doing a longer run, it's going to take you days to complete. It's not what you can finish in one day. After I was done stitching down the lines, this is what I have. So I'll go ahead now and stitch the other one to cross across it like this. So guys, after I was done stitching everything, this is what I have. This is the back pattern and now this is the front pattern. So now you're going to place them like this, right side facing you. I just placed the front and the back pieces together, aligning them on the shoulders. So now I'm going to go ahead and use a piece of the fabric just like a bias like this to pipe the shoulders together. So this is how you will join the shoulders. Everything you're going to be doing on this top is going to be done like a bias. So I'm just going to use this tiny piece of a fabric like bias to join the shoulders like this, and I'll do the same thing for the other shoulders as well. So now for the armhole area of the sleeve, I'm going to be doing a similar thing as well. I'm going to fold my fabrics into two like this, and then I'll use it to pipe the armhole area. That is the cuffed area. Just go ahead and pipe it all the way around as you see me do. So after I was done piping the shoulders together, this is what it looks like. I just went ahead to make a top stitch to secure it in place. So now the next thing I'm doing is to join the sleeve, and remember that I already piped the armhole area. So now I'm going to open up the armhole area of my top like this, and then I'm going to place the sleeve on it from the center. I'll mark the center of the sleeve and place it on the center line on my armhole. Then I'll go ahead and start pinning it in place. So I'll pin it on top because I'm not going to be stitching from the inside. So first pin it on top and make sure you align it properly as you see me do like this. Just align it on the top of the armhole, and then you're going to go over to the sewing machine and make a top stitch to secure it in place. So that's how to join the armhole. So guys, this is what it looks like after I was done, and I will go ahead and do the same for the second armhole. The next thing I'll be doing is to create the elastic casing. So I'll just bring in a white piece of fabrics, then I'll fold it into two, and I'll be placing it in a way that there will be space in between for my elastic to pass through. So guys, you can see how wide it is. I'll just place it very close to the edge like this, and I'm going to make a top stitch on the side and then pass my elastic through. So that is exactly what I did on the sleeve here, and as you can see, the elastic is on the inside. So once you are through passing your elastic through, the next thing to do is to fix the side, and it is very simple guys. Just fold your fabrics into two like a bias and use it to like cover up the rough edges on the side here. I'm going to do the exact same thing on the center front as well. For the side, just fold your fabrics in form of bias and use it to cover the sides. It is very simple, just that it is time consuming, and if you notice one is longer than the other, just trim it off and continue to sew. So guys, as you can see, I've went ahead to cover the front piece here, and I'm just showing you the process. That is how I did it. I've covered the front piece here, and I'll also use the same method to cover the neckline and the center front as well. So guys, this is basically all. The next thing you're going to start to do is to start removing the papers, which is another thing that takes a lot of time, and I did it off camera. Thank you so much for watching. If you are seeing this video, tomorrow is my birthday, and the birthday gift that you can give me that can make me happy is to head over to my channel right now to subscribe if you haven't. See you in my next video.